All right, hopefully quick video response to Tim on the education subject. Kind of a predictable response. I get this stuff a lot, these cliche, allowances don't motivate kids. Well, it's not about an allowance. It's about $50,000 or even more than that. If we get rid of the whole education industrial complex beyond the 5th grade, beyond literacy, 6th grade, let's say, get rid of all the high schools, the colleges, all that crud. All right, we have a huge amount of money, it's $500 billion without college. It's a huge amount of money. And I say we can, if we put like I said, $50,000 for a GED, a high school equivalency test, that's a lot more than a 50-cent a week allowance. Come on. So I think it's just kind of silly to say that wouldn't create a motivation. I think it'd be a gigantic motivation, especially in certain cities in Chicago where the dropout rate is 90%. I think it'd be a gigantic incentive. It would put the incentive carrots in front of the kids who need it the most, the ones who have lousy, rotten parents, the ones who are living in a shithole. They would have the incentive to get out of the shithole. All right, they'd drop the basketball and pick up the books. All right, how the program runs, again, you can go through all these, we could just nitpick through every single stage of the whole development of a program. I don't see any real point in that, but obviously you could test kids yearly. If they don't satisfy a minimum standard of acquiring the minimum amount of information per year, then they get out of the program. Then they don't get the profits incentive anymore. Now they go into some tutoring program, so the money is spent on tutors. Instead of them getting the profit, the money will go to the tutors that have to force the information into their heads. And I think that just creates another incentive for kids to say, yeah, I want to stay in the profit program, man. I want to stay in the one where I get the money, not some teacher gets the money. And I don't think it diminishes or does I don't think it has any relevance whatsoever to sending any kind of negative message to kids. I think it was a real negative message to kids to say, I'm your parent, I own you, now go to jail every day. I think that's a negative message. We impose life on kids. I mean, this whole idea, the way we finance this education system, you just steal a bunch of money from people who don't even endorse. I don't endorse people having kids. Why should I have to pay a property tax to have a roof over my head to pay for other kids to subsidize other people's reproductive choices when I don't even think they should be parents? Not only because the world doesn't need more people, but number two, I don't even think they're responsible parents. Most parents don't want the job. They don't take the job seriously. They don't even motivate their own damn kids. They don't watch them. They don't care about them. They don't take any interest in how they're doing psychiatrically or any other way. I mean, most parents suck. So anyway, we shouldn't be subsidizing parenthood. We shouldn't be giving people tax breaks to have kids. The hell with that. We should be making them pay more taxes. Because why should people who have chosen not to have kids have to subsidize other people's choices, like I said? But anyway, even taking away the unfairness of how this burden on society is paid for, even if I was to say, yes, I do endorse the, paying to properly educate kids, I think this is a better answer. I not only think this is a cheaper answer, I think it's a better answer. I think you'll have high school graduates at 12 years old. I think you'll get kids motivated to learn so much earlier. There's no way you're ever going to get a kid to really understand this whole, this is information you need when you're 35 years old kind of stuff. Because most kids just can't even contemplate living that long. I mean, especially now. I mean, the way the world looks and everything else. I mean, geez, it's got to be awful hard for a kid to see anything hopeful on the horizon. And then when they have, when the education system now has to compete with the internet and all this stuff, I mean, come on. The people on the internet are about 10 million times more intriguing and interesting than the jackasses I have for neighbors. So, I think you're going to lose that argument too. This technology thing is a good thing, and if we were going to redesign a system today, if we weren't stuck with this wooden wheel design from an archaic past when you had to do it that way, when you didn't have cable TV and you didn't have internet, you didn't have radio waves and microwaves and cell phones and all this other technology, there's no way we would say, well, let's build a whole bunch of complexes all over the country and shove the kids into them and have cops monitor the hallways and, you know, play all these games and have psychologists and nurses and do all this crap. No friggin' way. Okay, we'd say let's make the information available and give them an incentive to absorb it, to consume it, to spend the time eating it. So whatever. I didn't think your argument was very well, it wasn't very persuasive, obviously. I think if we give, like I said, this will cost a fraction of the amount of money we're spending now. 1/1000th, maybe 1/10,000th. To do the experiment. All right, build the one high school, build the one college, staff it with people, and videotape it, put it online, and pay the distribution cost for broadband and to put on cable TV. What's the big deal? Obviously, we put on cable TV by government mandate, not by, you know, paying the cable companies. The hell with that. But anyway, you know, this can be done dirt cheap. This experiment. Okay, and but the thing I think the experiment will prove is that the jig will be up. Okay, a videotape. I'd rather have a videotape of Albert Einstein teaching physics than any physics professor living today. Okay, I mean, come on, that would kick ass. We can get the best people to teach courses. There'd be substantial value for decades in that information. No way it won't work. Just no way it would not work. So anyway, enough. That's my counter argument. Sorry, I don't mean to be hostile, but I have heard all this crap before, so it gets a little redundant. But I understand every person that hears it's a new person, so you got to go through the whole spiel. And that's an argument for you. Lament to lament. So anyway, trying to be friendly.